couldn't hear you. I wanted to make sure I was hearing you correctly. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. You are tuned into Transition.
Wow, what is that? What is that you're drinking? That's like some grapefruit in there with something sweet. Transition. That's why you can't say it. That juice you just gave
I
me.
know I heard you smacking. I'm like, dang, that feels good.
Transition.
You like it that much?
Something with that peach,
It
grapefruit.
is
First,
a
tell
little
people
this
who
and a
we are.
little
We're
that.
Transition. The show is called what? Transition.
Transitions. Happy Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You are tuned into Transition.
Can't even say it.
You are tuned in and cut. You are tuned into Transitions, Life, Lessons, and Legacy. I am Hyacinth Henderson, joined by my father, the one and only, the incomparable Mr.
Robert Henderson Jr.
All right, we missed you last week.
Yes.
Was I out last week or you were out? You were out.
No, you were out.
No, I was out. Oh,
You
yeah,
was
it was
out.
me.
You was out.
Okay.
You was out. You was.
I'm
you,
back.
You was somewhere cold.
Ow,
Was it
in my
cold?
skin with that. Yeah.
You was in Michigan.
It was cold.
Yeah.
And I told the people that it, was so hot in Florida, and then now look.
Yeah.
Look,
Well,
look.
it ain't that cold for a sweatshirt. Really.
I own sweatpants too.
You
And
was sweatpants. It was not that cold.
socks.
I think what is it? 80 degrees or something?
It's not 80 degrees. It's 60 degrees outside.
Well, I don't think so. But anyway,
It's
hey.
60 degrees.
All right. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday. Okay, so tell people who you are. First timers.
I'm a divine being. Like,
Oh man. And how many lives you
You are-
have? Don't go into how many lives
You're
that you lived
seeing me.
before.
in my
all
current
right.
expression,
Yes.
in which they call me Hyacinth Henderson. That is a name that was given to me at birth by this one,
That's right.
right?
Right.
Hyacinth Renee
Renee
Henderson.
Henderson. Right.
Full service financial planning. We own the Henderson Financial Group, which is a full service financial planning and investment advisory firm. I am the co-CEO at the Henderson Financial Group. I have been here for 21 years now.
Yes.
21 years. By trade, my licenses. I said I was going to stop saying all that because it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, look at Toot your little
I
horn.
did. I was
Look
like,
at
you know what?
It's a
Pop,
lot of
pop.
stuff. Look at
Ever
you.
since
You know,
I could remember,
you all
I've been
that.
popping
You all
my
that. Got all
collar.
them
If I don't pop it, who's
designations.
gonna pop it?
Oh,
If I don't pop
man.
it, who gonna pop it? No.
Let the world pop it.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
I'm teasing. So I was saying I want to stop saying all that because you can go to the website. So co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. This guy is my dad. He's drinking some juice that I made for us, and it contains carrots, grapefruit,
I tasted grapefruit overpowering.
ginger. Because I don't do measurements. I just cut it all
That
up.
grapefruit is very overpowering.
And
but it's
whatever.
good.
It's great for your blood type. Your blood type A
I know.
positive.
I like grapefruit.
Do you taste the ginger?
Yes.
Do you taste the turmeric?
Yes.
Do you taste the pineapple?
Yes.
Do you taste the carrots?
Yes.
Y'all see that? You see, and do you think he tastes all that?
I just want to go to the next.
You see that? Y'all
No,
see why I'm
No, we
spoiled
got to
now?
cut it short. We got 45
Yes.
minutes today. Got to
Yes.
cut it short. Okay.
Yes. Am
All
I
right.
the best?
You're absolutely the best.
Yeah. You see?
Okay.
Good
Oh,
job.
God. Toot, toot, toot.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Tell people who you are.
I'm Robert Henderson Jr. I'm the president and founder and CEO of the Henderson Financial Group that I started back in 1990. My daughter Heidi, she says she's been here, 21 years, but you're 42 years old. I think it's 22 years now. I think you came when you was 20.
It's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
Can we start counting the snow cone time? When you had
when you start working, no.
Snowy Delight,
Yeah,
no?
how old are you? Like 8 years old. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we're full service. We do total financial planning. Our motto is we bring the future into your present right now. Right now is the future. Okay. So what you do now will show up in the future, which is tomorrow, which is next week, which is next year, which is 10 years from now. So you really have to be conscious of what you're doing right now. With that said, today I thought about having a conversation about developing oneself. I want to ask you all out there, and I want you to look at yourself and say, really, what are you good at? The key to being successful and actually just continue being hungry and sharp in your life is that you have to become good at something. Isn't that something?
Yep. And before you go on, I want to say you are right. It is longer than 21 years. It's 22 years. You're right.
The only time I was wrong is when I thought I was wrong and I was right. Like I said, I know I was right.
I knew you was gonna say that. I wanted
know.
you to say that.
I know.
It made me laugh inside.
Yeah, I know.
But you were right.
I know I'm right. But
Okay.
anyway,
All right. Back to
So ask yourself, each and every one of us is supposed to look in the mirror and say, self, what am I good at? Well, the world knows that I'm very good at doing this.
Well, Mr. Henderson, it's so interesting that you brought this topic to today's show because
Why is
today,
that?
I was thinking if more people knew that they had to consistently do something, so in order to be good, to have success, then the world would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, in today's society, most people want it fast.
Mm-hmm.
They want it quick. They want it right now.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to turn 60,000 and 90,000 in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told me that yesterday. They called and said, "This is what I need you to do." Okay.
You turn 60,000 into what?
90,000.
In 5 years?
Mhm.
They wanted you to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just, I mean, I don't know that I would be talking to you.
There's a lot of risk doing
If I
that. I
could
mean, it
do
can be
that.
done.
Right.
But
Right.
it's a lot of risk. I
right.
mean, I've done it. I've turned 200,000 into $1 million in 4 months.
Yeah. But then
It's a lot of risk.
it's a lot of risk.
It's like can you can you drive from Miami to Orlando? It normally takes about 3.5, 4 hours.
Mhm.
But someone says, can you get there from Miami to Orlando in 2 hours? It can be done.
Oh my God. That's the same thing I told the gentleman who called yesterday.
Yeah.
I said, that's like we get in my car right now. We doing that thing go 180. Instead of me doing 40,
Right.
I can get in there and go 180.
Right.
I may get there, I may not.
Right. And don't you a
It's
lot of stuff, a
happen.
lot of risk. You get a
It's
ticket.
right.
Hey, you get an accident.
Yeah.
Some fool just cuts in front of you while you doing 180 miles an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you have an unmarked
Mhm.
Florida Highway Patrol that pulls
Mhm.
you over and stop you for 30 minutes to an hour, and have his buddies
Mhm.
come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic accidents. So there's risk involved in doing that. Yeah, you can get there, but can you deal with the risk? And most
they
people
can't.
can't.
They
No,
cannot. They say they can, but they
can't.
can't.
No,
Right.
no.
Exactly. Exactly. Say they can,
No,
but they can't.
we've
We know
seen
that.
this.
You know,
I've
been there, done that.
37 years.
Ain't doing it no
I want to
more.
go fast. Oh
Right.
my God, why are we going so fast?
Right.
I want to go fast. Oh, I didn't want to go that
Right.
fast. You know
Not
what I
that
mean?
fast,
So
right.
trust me.
So back to the point of being good and getting good. It's the time.
What's developing yourself? So again?
It's the time that a lot of people run from. And I believe it's 2 parts, right? So
You say it's the time?
doing things takes time. Just like baking a cake. I can want a
Okay,
cake
okay.
right now
Yeah.
and say I want a cake.
Right.
The cake ain't here.
Right.
Like if I want a cake right now and I wanted a homemade cake, the best
Right.
apple cake,
Right.
right?
Okay, so I get it. You're right. Time.
It's the time.
And most people don't really understand this whole
Yeah.
concept and the power of time.
Yeah.
They really don't. And I kind of, at one point you want to blame that on the system
Mhm.
from, when you're born, what we've been
Yes.
taught and what, they tell us. But then they say, truth is you have the right and the obligation to develop yourself
Mhm.
instead of waiting for other people to develop you.
Can we call that free will?
Yeah, it's free
Mhm.
will. Most of us say we have free because we have freedom of choice. But I don't think that when you're born and you're a little kid and you come up, most of us are used to being told what to do. And we haven't ignited the part in us that we too can
Mhm.
come out of the square, come out of the box and develop and ask questions and say, I want more. Like, please, sir, Oliver, I want some more.
Mhm.
Most people say, you can't dare ask for more. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think that part of our brains hasn't been developed where we can say, okay, this not working for me. I need more. You know what I mean? Most people just be quiet and and just do what they're told.
I think you're giving them a pass today when you say our brains haven't been developed.
What I mean by that, we don't know that it's our own duty to develop our brains, really, because I feel like I'm really self-taught.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Everything I know I had to go after to try to be curious and say, I want to know about that.
Okay, I agree. I can get with that.
Yeah.
Nobody made you.
Nobody made me. Nobody won't come. And nobody say, okay, I'm going to give you the golden key and tell you what to do. No, you have to say, okay, how do I get there? Being inquisitive. So today, if you're just tuning in, today is asking yourself, what are you good at? And because the key is now, you got to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Some people ain't good at nothing. They just go to 9 to 5 working for the job and getting a paycheck, and that's it. They ain't really good at it. What are you really good at? Do you think a lot of people can say that? I'm so good at baking cakes. Oh, I'm so good at doing washing a car. I'm so good at braiding hair. I got a specialty. I'm so good at. I think there's a lot of people that are missing. Haven't developed to to go toward being an expert in a certain field or area? What do you say?
I agree. So D's in threes. I like threes. I like things, and I like iteration, right? So development, discipline, and dedication.
Okay.
That's what came to mind when we talk about getting good at something, when we talk about understanding that you don't want to be the person that gets in the car and drives really fast because you want to get there, because you may wreck out, you may get pulled over, you may go to the next lifetime, whatever the case may be, right? So if you understand that, okay, I need to slow it down so that I can get good at something and without going quickly, then think about the 3Ds, D3, 3D, discipline,
Mm-hmm.
dedication, and development.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we talk about people not being good at something, I believe that each and every one of us was sent here in this incarnation with the gift inside of us, with several gifts.
I do too.
Right. So we have several gifts, and it's the creator in this whole alakazam system that we live in is so perfect that it equipped each and every human. Like, okay, I'm gonna send you here on planet Earth, but I'm not gonna send you here without something. I'm gonna send you here with some gifts that are buried inside of you. And if we talk about at least just one of our gifts, right? Because I was gonna say, let's say each of us has 5 gifts in us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't even acknowledge that you at least have one gift. But if you choose one gift and say, let me dedicate myself to this, let me be disciplined, and let me develop, then you have the ability to become good at something. So when you go back and say most people aren't good at something, well, you can be good at something, but you got to do the 3D process.
So when you're saying your gift, your 5 gifts and all that, so really what you're saying that good at something.
It's already inside you.
So you calling the gift being good at something. Because some people want to say, well, what's my gift? I don't know my gift. So you could break it down and say, okay, stop looking for something wrapped with a bow. What we saying when we saying your gift is a gift is synonymous with being very good at something.
Yes, but some people have gifts and they're not good at them yet because they have not developed them.
Well,
so when I say gifts, you're right. I'm not
Right.
talking about a physical gift.
Right.
I'm not talking about something that you're going to find under your Christmas tree.
Right.
I am talking about something that is within you. Remember, I said the creator is so perfect. This process was so perfect that when you incarnated into your body onto planet Earth and decided to be whoever name you are, I'm highest. And I didn't come here alone, right? I didn't come here without any gifts. There are gifts embedded inside of me. When I say gifts, I mean talents, gifts, things that I'm good at, things that I'm here to develop so that I can share with the world.
Okay, so when you were saying that, I'm thinking about some
Mhm.
people just come out and they're like 10 years old and they want to start working on cars.
Mhm.
So
Could that be a gift? Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's something, we talked about the last time we was on the show. We talked about 3 types of people: those that see when they're told, and there's those who just do not see. So you're saying if someone coming, he's 10 years old, all of a sudden he gets on the piano, he just loves the piano. The other
Mhm.
kids don't want to play the piano. It's
Mhm.
boring, but he just want to play the piano,
Mhm.
and he's really good at it. Then that means that that's a gift that he just see already.
I love this. Yes, and more. Yes. Let me tell you why
Because
I love
most
this.
people don't get that.
Because what happens is in the piano, I don't want you all to get disconnected from the message of what we're saying because we're talking about a piano, but we can also
Metaphorically.
be talking about, so like for me, it's speaking, it's public speaking. Let Mr. Henderson tell it. He'll be like, I remember so many years ago, tell it. Let me let you tell it.
10 years ago, she was shaking in her boots. Just 10 years ago. If I say, get up and say your name, we'll be somewhere at a round table, and I say, Heisey, get up and say your name. She's like,
Literally about to pass out.
Yeah. my name is Heisey Henderson. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's about to fall out.
Now,
oh my God, y'all know her. She can't keep her quiet. Want to take over the mic? Just can I talk a little bit? I mean, that's Heisey. Heisey, you asked her to speak now. I'm ready. Let's do this thing, But before, just 10 years ago, she was scared to get up in front of her room. She was scared to open her mouth. Can you believe that?
shaking in my boots.
That is proof.
So, but we're going to tie this into the piano situation. And so let's go back even further. We were talking about when I was working at your snow cone business, Sunny Delight, right?
Snowy
Delight. And we would, I remember being in that warehouse in Opelika,
Right.
making the ice.
Right.
We had to use gloves. That's when we learned about antifreeze.
Right.
We had the big drums and we did
Right.
all these. And at that point, I was the lead, right? So it was me, my brother, and my cousin. And I would be like, okay, come on, we got to do this. Like I vividly remember all of this. I remember going to these festivals and concerts and things like that and being on a snow cone machine by myself.
Right.
And you all were bouncing between the other 2 carts, right? So at that point, there was the gift of leadership.
Right.
I was probably 8 or so.
Yeah. You
Right.
were. Yes.
By the time I went from 8 to 10 years ago, I'm 42, so 32, things had happened in my life that caused me to shrink, caused me to bury the gift, caused me to be afraid, caused me to be fearful. So that by the time I hit 32, the gift that was already planted in me when I came into this incarnation and was apparent when I was younger, it had been suppressed. So when we go back to the example of a kid being a 10-year-old and he's working on cars, or he's naturally good at it, or he's naturally good at playing the piano, the first thing that came to mind is his environment is going to be very important. Because if he's a 10-year-old, let's say he's a 10-year-old born to a family that doesn't value the arts. And so all he wants to do is play piano. And they're like, boy, get off that piano. We ain't got time for that. You got to get your butt out there and go play some football. Or, you know what I mean? If they don't foster and develop him, that D, there goes that D again, then the risk comes into play of him not continuing to develop that gift and the gift getting suppressed.
Right.
So I'm using these examples, whether I'm talking about the piano guy or talking about me speaking and leadership and things like that. Let's go back to what I said. We all have a gift and we all have the ability to be good at something. However, we cannot ignore the fact that life experiences, circumstances, and everything that we go through can sometimes suppress us, can sometimes challenge us in a way that we shut down, can sometimes put us in a place of being fearful and forgetting about our gifts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even thinking about me being afraid, like literally, I remember standing on the stage at the Goldman Sachs event and I had to introduce myself. Remember you came down there?
Yeah.
And I had to introduce myself and I had to literally tell myself, girl, you better not pass out in front of all these people. Like I'm on the stage, I'm like, do not pass out. They're going to take pictures and right? So I had to be able to work through that to get to where I am now. And I'm sharing that because I want each and every one of you to know when we talk about you got to be able to be good at something, you got to take your time. You know what you're good at. You don't need us to tell you what you're good at.
Well, some people don't. That's my point. Okay.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you finish.
So let me tell you why I say that.
Okay.
There's millions and millions and millions and millions of people who have just been programmed and conditioned to, when you grow up, after you finish school, get a job and with benefits, and they stop right there, and the rest of their life, they just, whether they're working in a factory, whether they're working for the county or the state or whatever, they have a job and they just do that. So, and they might not, and more than likely, they're not as happy as they would be naturally because they're not really working in their giftedness. All right.
I agree.
Okay. So those are people who don't, what we're talking about, they've never even been introduced to it. They have a itch. They don't know how to scratch it. And they're just saying, okay, you have a thirsty and they don't know how to quench. They have thirsty, they don't know how to quench, but they need to feed themselves. They need to go through life. They need to have, room, board, and shelter and all that. So they go get a job, and they get a job. And the first thing they want is benefits with a 401k plan. And they look to say, okay, if I work here for 30 years or 25 years, I can retire. And that's it. A lot of people fit in that humdrum category.
I agree 1,000%. I agree with you.
So those are the people right there. What I'm saying is that, because I once read that the key to being really, really happy and prosperous is to first, we all have to know that we are very valuable. We are gifted. And it's our job too, even if you're going to get a 9-to-5 job, to still search on your part-time, for that, for the real you in terms of your gift and development. That's why I'm saying that each and every one of us have to develop ourselves and be good at something. I'm not trying to tell you what to be good at, but you want to find something, even if you have to do what you need to do in order to survive and pay the rent or the mortgage and take care of your bills, right? But you want to be able to, on your side hustle should be, okay, let me find out the real me and develop my gift.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Jerome McMillan. Yes, I did go to Success Track. I'll be back 2 more times. Call me after this. Let's talk. I loved it. Loved it. Yes. UWM. his comment. I see you wearing a UWM shirt, Hyacinth. Did you come for Success Track? I did.
As a matter of fact, Jerome Heisey said they have one for brokers, real estate broker,
Yeah.
and she's going to sign me up there,
Bring
and
him
I'll
up.
be there. And when I come there, I'm gonna look you up, brother, because you're
Is he in
still in
Michigan?
Michigan. Yeah, he's in Michigan.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's okay.
I think he
Mhm.
got a mortgage broker's license too.
If he recognized UWM, then maybe. So yes. Yeah. We
Small
gotta
brother.
talk.
Small brother.
Yes.
Yeah, good brother. Good brother.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's go back. So I agree with you 1000%. And there's an and to that, right? So I
And?
agree, right? And so and is different from but. Because but
Yes.
cancels out everything that she said before. So if I say but, then I'm like wiping out everything you said, which I am not. I am adding to that the power of and.
Okay,
Okay.
daughter.
All right, so-
okay, daughter.
I agree with everything you said, where life happens and your gifts have been suppressed. And so now you gotta I gotta work, I gotta get a 9 to 5, I have to, get these benefits, I have to take care of these children, and that gift is still burning inside of you. How does that look? You may have a little feeling, well, oh, I could do this, you may do it, but I'm canceling out the feeling that you had, but you don't want to dedicate the time and the discipline and development
Right.
to furthering that gift.
Because that 9 to 5 has tired them out.
Exactly. So
Right.
it's not that you don't know the gift is there. You still know the gift is
Well, you
there.
I think how you knowing that the gift is there, because you still have a thirst that haven't been quenched.
Right. But then you have a choice. So that goes back to what we say. Life is always about choices.
Yes.
So the gift is there. The 9 to 5 is tiring
but
you
you
out.
keep saying gift. A lot of people, I see, a
Mm.
lot of people get just
Mhm.
discombobulated. They don't know what this gift is.
But that's why we're teaching them.
But what we want to say
Mhm.
is, we want to interchange the word gift to
What?
being good at something. That's a gift, because when you're really good at something, they call you gifted.
Well, I don't know that just because you have a gift, you're good at it.
No.
I don't necessarily agree.
No,
with
it ain't, if it ain't good, if it ain't that good, ain't no gift. That's why they call
agree with
gifted
that.
children. LeBron James is gifted, they say.
You
This
have to
athlete-
develop your gifts.
Oh no question.
You
No,
don't get
no.
good at something. So
But when you develop, in other words, it's there. It's a gift. A 10-year-old who just
Mhm.
comes out and started playing the piano because somebody gave him a thing, and he just all of a sudden he liking it every day. He's doing it like, oh, he's playing the piano again. He's getting, and then he develop it. The more and more you do it, the better you get.
he gets good at it. Right. So using that example, he can come out, walk up to a piano. He's never seen a piano a day in his life.
Right.
He walks up to a piano, he starts playing, and
Right.
everybody's shocked, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't just stop playing the first
He just
time.
start doing a little
Yeah,
something.
He
He's
got a little
shocked,
rhythm
right?
going.
Right. And so they're like, oh, wait,
Develop it.
let me develop this.
Right.
And then when they develop it, then they're like, wow, he becomes good at it.
And then they don't have to beg him or her to do it.
Right. But I agree.
Yeah.
And we can agree to disagree. I understand that what you're saying about the good part. I believe that good is not just given to you. You got to develop it.
No, you always got to work for it. You always
Yeah,
got to
I mean,
work for
because
it.
I'm thinking about all the people think about all the realtors we have, all the attorneys, all these different people who have these professions, and they're like, oh, you could be good at passing a test, get a
No,
license,
that's
and be
academically.
broker than a joke.
No, but there's so many attorneys.
Mhm,
There's so many professional people
mhm.
who, once they get their license and they shingle and hang it
Mhm.
up, they just go to sleep, and they just, a CPA, but they don't really work. You know what I mean?
Is that because they're not gifted at it?
More than likely,
It's not their gift.
It's not, because
Mhm.
really, I'm gonna tell you something that you'll know about a gift.
Mhm,
A gift is something that you love doing it. You
mhm.
just love doing it. So that's
Mhm.
why I say, like, I'm not going to retire. I'm retired now because I don't feel like I'm working. So when I help somebody do this and do that, I'm speaking for myself, not for you.
No, I didn't say anything.
Your eyes went like that. I know, because you want to be on your yacht somewhere.
No.
So-
Actually,
Okay.
I like talking to people.
Okay,
too.
I mean,
I
listen.
want to talk to who I want to talk to.
So I'm in my giftness right now, because I love, and I've been doing this for 37 years. I love it. I love it. I keep learning. I'm getting richer and richer and richer, and I'm
There you
helping
go.
more and more and more. The more people I help, the richer I get. And it's like I'm not working. This is my sport. This is my hockey, my baseball, my football, my basketball. This is all. I love this. It's no 9 to 5 stuff. I do this all the time. I want to learn. I'm always on the hunt, like Easter egg hunt. Okay, so this is my gift that I found. Thank God, because I don't know what I'd be doing. My mother called me absolutely lazy. I didn't want to do no chores,
Mhm,
and still don't want to do none.
mhm, mhm.
So I want to develop and grow and build. Okay. So what I'm trying to say in terms of, and we started off, ladies and gentlemen, if you came in late, Hyacinth, my daughter and I, we started off by saying that today I want to talk about one of the keys that's missing that for a lot of people is being good at something. And you got to ask yourself, really, what are you really good at? Now, I'm not saying because you go to the 9-to-5 job, you work for the Fed, the county, and city, you're good at that. That's not. You're doing a job because you're getting paid to do that for you. But there's something inside of you, like Heisey said, the Creator put in all of us. There's something that we need to. It's a treasure in us. It really is a treasure that we need on the sidebar from making our ends meet and taking care of stuff that we need to be inquisitive about and develop it. Whether it's baking a cake, whether it's being a chef, whether it's being a beautician, whether it's being, a builder, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that each and every one of us have in us that is totally undeveloped.
I agree. It just made me think about a book that I recently downloaded to our Audible. Did you see it? The Big Leap?
No, I didn't
Have
see
you heard
it.
of it? I feel like I've seen this book several times, but I just downloaded it when I was flying out last week, Monday. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks.
Okay.
And in the book, he talks about different zones that we sit in. And as I hear you speaking, it made me think about him saying that most people play in the zone of excellence, where they can be good at something, instead of the zone of genius, where they're gifted at something, like where they're really supposed to be. So that is in alignment with the example that you're giving. Like, you could be at your 9-to-5 job. And we're not saying that there's anything wrong with having a 9-to-5 job.
It's good, right?
Because
we all had them.
Right. We all had them, and we all need them. Like,
right.
we need you to have a 9-to-5 job. Right. But the point that Mr. Henderson is trying to make is you could be doing something that you're relatively good at, but you're not operating in your gift. And that's the difference. When you look up this book, you'll understand him talking about the zone of excellence versus the zone of genius. And when you're playing in the zone of excellence, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm keeping the heat and the lights on and stuff like that. But there's still that inside nag that's making you feel like, okay, I should be doing more.
Right. I just read this guy left Microsoft making $340,000 a year. He left that job. He said, most people say you're crazy. He went down because he wanted to start a microbrewer.
A micro what?
Brewery.
Oh, for beer and
that's
stuff.
Right.
Yes,
that's what he wanted to do.
And I know he's making millions of dollars.
And he's so happy. Yeah. And he feels good. It's like he's not working. He said when he's working at Microsoft, big, 800-pound gorilla making $340,000. People thought he was crazy.
Right.
So that's example what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And so for those of you listening, when we talk about you needing to be good at something, this conversation should, gosh, my head is hurting, but this conversation should inspire you to dig deep. And I'm saying deep, but you really don't have to dig that deep, because I say what your gifts are. You know what your gifts are.
Nah.
Okay, well, if you don't know, meditate on them and journal. Dig deep.
That a lot of people have not known, because think about, from being a little tight, from coming up. See, you since you was born, and you seen me always moving and doing.
You love to say this.
You seen me just not having one stream of income. You seen me doing real estate, doing stock. You seen me since you were a little kid. And then at 8 years old, I had a manufacturing company that manufactures 60 flavors of snow cones. And you seen that, and you was working that. You was 8 years old. So with you, even when you was working at the engineering firm, you was like, okay, but that you saw, there's a lot of people who have not had that experience.
I still believe they have a burning desire.
No, everyone does. But what I'm trying to say, they put the flame out when in America, the education system don't tell you how to think. It tells you what to think.
1,000%.
So it says, listen, this is what you're going to do. You want to get married, go to college, you want to go to college, get a good job, to work for somebody else, get married, have 2.31 kids, get a house and retire. And that's it. And people want to hurry up and retire at 50 years old, not do nothing. And they still be empty. So that's what we've been told to do, and that's the American dream. You know what I mean? But that's falsehood. That's make believe.
All right, I know that.
Yeah. So, but that's what a lot of people have been told. And just like this guy at Microsoft, just like me, my mom. It's just, hey, we were going to CBS Channel 4. You making good money, get benefits. You're crazy. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. I have to do more. I don't feel good working somewhere and they're paying me, and I can brag about I don't really do nothing. I mean, that you really
want more.
Yeah, for yourself, because you got to. Anytime you hear anyone that says they got a good job and they don't know how to do nothing,
They're not operating. in their
They
zone of
don't
genius.
understand
Yeah.
what truth is. They don't really know. They're
Mhm.
not. They think they're ripping off the employer and not doing really, the amount that they should. They're not really putting in what they should be putting in order to get paid. They feel like they're getting paid and they ain't hardly doing nothing. That is a form of fraud or cheating within yourself in the universe. You only hurt yourself because you could be developing because you're much more than that, but you want to just stay there and collect benefits like a bear, instead of actually strutting your stuff and being all you could be. So today we're talking about really, I want each and every one of you all to look in the mirror and say, what are you good at? Really, what are you good at? And don't be talking about that 9-to-5 job. What else are you good at? And if you don't know, damn it, I want you to start being good at something. Go find something to be good at. Go make some soup or something. do something.
When y'all just heard him say the D word, those the pep talks we got as kids. It immediately took me to a flashback.
When I come on, you
when
gotta
he
have a
was
hobby.
talking to my brother, not me. I immediately saw my brother sitting right there, and I'm just sitting there like, why don't you get it? Because when you said that D word, I was like, all right, you bug.
Come on and say, you didn't have a hobby yet. I'm okay. I'm gonna take
That's
you
just
to
how you do.
I said, Ben, I just want to watch TV.
Gotta be good at.
You gotta be good at something. Yeah, I mean, pick up the
Do you
piano,
remember you
pick
made
up the
Bobby
banjo.
watch TV all night? Do you remember that?
I remember that because you just want to watch TV.
Don't go to sleep.
Don't go to sleep.
If I come down
I'm gonna wear your butt up. You want to watch TV? So watch it all night, then. Don't you go to sleep. I told him that. And you sit right here. You want to watch TV? That's all you want to do. I'm about to do the Apple computer, Orange Blossom hobby shop. Go put some planes together. Come buy your train set. Do something. But I want you to be engaged in something. You just looking.
You watch it all night. Watch it all night.
Watch it all night.
So those were wild times.
Yeah.
Wild times. But we're here.
Yeah. That's been a long time. Yeah.
You made it. So let's talk about some tips and some things that we can give our listeners, our audience, to develop and get to the point that they can get good at something. Because y'all know I love, like, I'm gonna send you to meditate. Go meditate, go journal, go do all that. But meditation doesn't have to be sitting in silence with your legs crossed, right? Meditation can be not listening to the radio while driving, not watching TV, like just literally going on about your day. But let's give the people some tips and some pointers and some steps.
I think, and that's an excellent idea what you're saying, but I think, to start, you got to try different things. You got to try something. Try something that you think interesting, but you say, I can't do that. A lot of people say, I don't know how to do that. I don't know why people think that.
We all didn't know.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that.
You got to start. You got to learn.
We didn't know. No, that's what learning is, not knowing. So when you say, I don't know how to do that, well, we all didn't know how to do that. Whatever we doing now, we didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to ride a bicycle at one time. We didn't know how to swim. That's not a reason not to do it. But that's what growth and development is about. I mean,
So something that I'm going to suggest that you all do, and something that I do even working my day job, right? Do I have a night job? My mom said to me this morning, she was like, I hear you working late at night. You be on that phone and you be talking. And I'm like, yeah, how you think you live here? Yeah, lady. Yeah, you ain't wrong when you're right. You're right. I was like, wow. Yes. What was I going to say? Oh, something that I do regularly, like, because there are ebbs and flows. There are different periods that you experience during your life, and it could be during your job, during your relationship, during your friendships, whatever the case may be. I'll check in with how I'm feeling emotionally, right? So sometimes I'll do it every hour on the hour. Sometimes I'll do it every 3 hours. And what do I mean by that? I'll ask myself, how am I feeling? Am I feeling joyful? Am I feeling anxious? How am I feeling? And the reason why is because your emotions are indicators. I know a lot of times people tell you, you got to put your emotions to the side and use logic, but your emotions are going to tell you if you're in alignment with something that you should be doing. So for instance, when I am at work and I'm on a call, like yesterday, I worked from home and I had 2 amazing calls. One of my discovery calls was, and sometimes the discovery calls are people saying they want me to turn 60,000 into 90,000 in 4 years. And I'm not going to tell you how old the gentleman was, but he's older than you.
Wow.
And he wanted me to do that. So sometimes those are
He still
those
don't get it.
calls. Right. So sometimes I have those discovery calls. And then I have a discovery call like the one I had after that. And this lady, she was born a year under me. So she's 40. She's about to be 41. And she's quit her daytime job. She became a business owner. She's doing really good, but she has a thirst for information. You know, I don't know, and she was feeling bad and stuff. And I felt so good talking to her. It was almost like I was talking to a homegirl. And so if I was journaling at that point and doing an emotional check-in through my day, I would have been like, oh, this feels great. I felt helpful. I felt whatever emotions came up, that will let me know that that's the type of work that I need to be doing, as opposed to talking with people who want me to turn 60,000 and 90,000 and other kind of stuff, right? So I'm sharing that with you all because that is an exercise that I do throughout the day is, how do you feel emotionally? What's happening around this time, around these emotions? And then that can help you identify what is it that you enjoy doing, because I know the world will tell you that you don't need to enjoy what you're doing. I believe that you should enjoy what you're doing, because if you enjoy what you're doing, the energy that you're going to bring to it is a different energy than if you're doing it reluctantly.
Well, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with you. And if you want to develop something that because you want more money, then that has to be a service industry. Service, you know, and then you all you have to really do is just look around and, oh my God, we need so much. We need a lot of service in terms of better execution, you know.
Yeah, but when you make money your motive, you fall into a slippery slope.
Well, I don't want to say you want to make money your God, but this is what I mean. When you develop in the area that's going to help and solve a problem, it's a solution. That's going to make a lot of people happy. It's going to make you happy too. If you have the answers to people's problems, and you can develop some sort of format to help alleviate problems and challenges in other people's lives. So if you can come up with anything, whether it's dealing with the elderly, or dealing with the homeless, but it's serving, and it is it's so many unknown or undeveloped developments or areas in our lives that can help aid and comfort us. And if you start looking at ways how to help people, help the fellow man, how to service, then that gives you some kind of idea of which direction to go if you want to develop something and be good at something and be happy and fulfilled, and it also pays.
Yeah.
That's the money part. But if it's not just money, you just want to just do something like, coming up with a great can of soup or the next type of cookie, coming up with you can do that too. But the point is that I think, matter of fact, I know that each of us have this thirst inside of us. And until you fulfill that thirst, that quench, you can always go deep down, you're going to feel like you're missing something. And like how she said, money itself doesn't do it. Because that's a lot of people win the lottery or scratch off or whatever, they still feel empty. There's a lot of people that, that we know that have a lot of money, but they're still miserable and they just blow it because they're so miserable. It's not the answer. You know what I mean? They still, because when you have a lot of money, why would you want to get high and drunk and be, unconscious? If you're so happy, why would you want to go out of that bliss state of mind and go into a, dull your senses mind? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, the richer I get, the more I don't want no kind of dull sense. I want to see it all. I want to be unconscious. You know what I mean? So that tells you a whole lot. There's something missing and people are crying out. So it's not just the money, but you really do want to work on developing and finding that in each and every one of us. We want to find that something that just makes us happy. Even if you learn to be a good chess player, you know what I mean? I mean, something, but you have to, and it's really our responsibility to be as good as we can be in everything we could be. So you want to look to develop yourself and be good at something. I don't know. Heidi's very good at making macaroni and cheese. I know this. I do know.
Everything I cook is.
Oh,
Listen, I made some swordfish
Toot,
the other
toot,
night
toot.
for the first
Oh,
time. I bit my lip eating that thing. It was so good.
You know, all my children say they're so good at whatever they do. You know,
I'm gonna cook
you know-
snapper for Monday for Tavares' birthday.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna make you some swordfish on the side.
All right, okay, I gotta get here. You got 2 minutes.
But I wanted to say something
2
about.
minutes, 'cause
Can you
it's-
just tell him you're gonna be a little late?
Hi, see, come on, go and say something. 'Cause we had
Just
2
go
minutes.
with the flow of things. No, what do I want to say? Oh, so money. So we're talking about when you lead with money. Like, see, what happens is when you make money your focus, or money your motivating factor, or money your motive, like, oh, I'm going to do this because I can make a lot of money doing this. What will happen is
Quality drops off.
1,000%.
Right.
1,000%. And so when we're talking about service, when Mr. Henderson says go into the service industry to learn how to serve people, you can't pick based on how you're gonna make the most money.
No.
Because if you do that, then you're not going to be serving people to the best of your ability.
Yeah, you're cheating. Right.
You're cheating. So
Right.
I want you guys to think about that. Because I see a lot of people who are
Quality.
like, I gotta get this money. I gotta get and I'm like,
They're raggedy.
it'll come if you just get good at something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be really good at something.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
so
really
we didn't
have to
even
rush.
talk about what it takes to be disciplined and dedicated and silencing out the noise and doing all these different things. Maybe we'll talk about that next week because we won't be here next week, but the
Yeah,
week after that.
Yeah, we're going to be in a conference next week, so we're not going to be here next
Mhm.
next week.
Next Wednesday.
But the following Wednesday we will
be
be. As
back.
a matter of fact, I'm going to be speaking this
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
At the Miramar Cultural
Mhm.
Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You ready?
generational wealth, wills and trusts. Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Why would I be nervous? I mean, that's just like I'm not nervous talking. I mean, it's like in me. I mean, it's like, oh boy, I'm not you. I see 10 years ago and all that.
I have to entertain
I've been
myself.
doing this a long time.
Tara says that's a good exercise. It's life-changing because then it'll help you identify when you're in alignment and when you're out of alignment. You should be in alignment. You have an inner guidance system that literally tells you you're going the right way, you're going the wrong way. So if you keep like, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, maybe you are out of alignment. Start doing stuff that keeps you in alignment. He's looking at me because he's like, he gotta go.
Right.
He gotta
And,
be
I'm
somewhere.
just thinking about next
And
Monday
one
when you and
day-
Tavares do our show. I want to join y'all.
Good, let's do it.
I'm going to join y'all. Put my 2 cents in.
Put your 3 cents in.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll eat. We're gonna, instead of Monopoly, we're gonna do a murder mystery. I already ordered it.
Murder. Oh my God.
A murder
Mystery?
mystery. It's a black guy too.
Oh my God.
I
A
have the
game?
case file. It's
Oh
a game.
my
It came.
God.
It came.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, we'll see y'all Saturday.
We'll have Mr. Henderson on the show next Monday with
Yeah.
Tavares and I.
Yes.
Then we'll eat some good food, and then
For
we'll play
Tavares'
a murder
birthday,
mystery. Yeah, his birthday is Tuesday, but we're traveling Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Saturday, the Understanding Money Show. You doing the show? What time do you speak?
11 from 11 to 1.
Okay, so he will do the
Miramar
Understanding Money Show
Cultural Center. Right.
at 9 a.m. And then afterwards at 11 a.m., he will head to the Miramar Cultural Center for an event with the city of Miramar
Yes.
and the mayor,
Yeah.
Mayor Wayne
Yeah.
Messam.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So until then, y'all be good.
Peace.